Hello, welcome to this video, to my channel. It's Jolene over here. I've been natural for 7 years. Here's what I learned. First, less is more. I think this applies to life in general. Maybe there's some exceptions, of course, but less is more. I don't deem myself as a product junkie. Maybe in the past I was, because I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing with my hair at all. I really had to learn all on my own. My mom didn't really, she just permed my hair once it started to get really long and poofy when I was 7. And ever since then, until I was 14, I was perming my hair. And then I decided to cut it off because it was just fucked. But that's a story for another time. Less is more. Now I literally have one leave-in conditioner in my cabinet, one shampoo, one detangler, one protein treatment. That's it. And I'm even considering, do I really need a protein treatment? I'm not even sure at this point anymore. And then I do like clay masks like once a month if I'm like very consistent. That's all. Like I hate like just seeing like mad products in my cabinet. I just feel like it's also just so much money. I just don't have the money to be spending on products like that. It's the consistency, not necessarily the product. So, back in February, I bought a leave-in conditioner, and it was about $50 from a black-owned business. I still have it. There's still about half left, but personally, it's not doing what's supposed to be doing for me. It's also meant for low porosity gals like me. But, oh, by the way, I'm 4C, fine but thick hair, and low porosity. But yeah, it was just not doing it for me. My brother also has low porosity hair. Not doing it for him. So, I love to support black owned businesses, and the ingredients have like kale and shit in it, but it's just not doing it for me. I don't know. I've tried. I feel like the only time it works for me is when I blow dry, maybe because it helps it melt into the strands or something. But other than that, it's not doing the job. Being consistent, like once a week, re-moisturizing every few days, like spritzing and like putting some light oil to just kind of rejuvenate your hair. That's consistency. If you're buying like a $50 leave-in and you're only using it like once a month, it's not really going to do anything. Your hair's going to be very dry. Maybe just start breaking off. Same thing goes with deep conditioning. Personally, I wash my hair like every 2 weeks now. That's like what works for me. That's what's consistent for me. Some people it's once a week, once a month. It's more about what works for you. 3, patience is key. Your hair is not going to grow overnight. And that's another thing. Like, my next point, length, is about length. But the focus really should not be on length. Patience is key is also like patience with yourself and like learning about the process. I feel like I was a bit impatient with, I guess, myself with like learning everything, but I was being a bit hard on myself because I really didn't know anything. I literally read a book on natural hair. I forgot who it was by, but I had a friend in high school give it to me, and I read that over the summer that I big chopped, and I was just on YouTube for days, like just watching, routines and like what not to do and what to do, and it was a bit overwhelming. But again, be patient with yourself. It's okay to fail. It's okay to have setbacks. It's just important that you take things one at a time. 4, length should not be the priority. It really should not. I think sometimes I still do focus on length. It's hard because you see it everywhere, whether it's, on Instagram or like hair blogs, like length. Even when you Google stuff, like length is kind of the focus sometimes on articles. Long hair is nice and everything, but once I kind of let go of needing my hair to be waist length and stuff, I don't know, I just started to have more fun with my hair. Just really focus on the health of it because my hair has come a long way. It really has. If y'all were wondering what I'm drinking, some homemade kombucha. And if you're wondering what the chunks are, I know that sounds disgusting. It's pineapple. Anyways, 5, the natural hair journey is not linear like any journey in life, because I've had many setbacks, and many people who have really healthy hair, long hair, whatever, have had setbacks just like in life. But it's really about how you learn from the situation and how you, like, what you take from it. For instance, like, I think this was 2 years ago before I really understood how to blow dry my hair. I bought this bristle, it wasn't a bristle brush, it was some weird brush. I'll probably put a picture of it somewhere around here. And it said it was like a detangling brush, but I don't think it was meant for black people's hair. Or maybe I just was not using it right. You know, there was just broken pieces of hair all over my floor, and I didn't really think much of it till after. I thought it was normal, but I don't know what was going through my head, but it was a disaster. I wasn't too upset about it, and I think I cut my hair, like I did a short little cut a few months after because my hair was just not looking good. I learned from it, and I cut my hair because I realized like my ends were just a mess. I've had many other setbacks I can talk about later in other videos if you're interested, but I think I've come to accept that. Okay, even right now, like I put my hair in these twists because my hair has just been feeling off lately, and I recently rebought Green Beauty's protein treatment. Shout out to Green Beauty, love you, girl. I don't know, I think sometimes I question, do I really need a protein treatment in my hair? This is probably gonna be a controversial little thing, but I don't know. I know somebody who's protein sensitive also, and also is low porosity, and she doesn't use protein treatments and her hair is just fine. I also think about other people in different countries that can't really afford, or even in the US that can't afford as many products. Like, I just realized I am privileged with also just the types of products I'm able to buy. So I just question sometimes, do I really need this? Or is my hair just like accustomed to this treatment, you know? But that's for another time. Okay, 6, trial and error is very important. It's just important to try different things. Like, I tried this style and it came out fucking bomb. I didn't even finish putting beads in it because I just like the messier look, honestly. Truly. So yeah, trial and error just helps you become more accustomed to the process of failure. Again, in life, we gotta do the trial and error thing. That's how we learn. So trial and error, I've learned that slick backs just are not really for me. It's just always leads to breakage, even when I do it right. It doesn't lead to breakage. My scalp just is fucking itchy the whole time. It's just not a style that lasts well for me. And I'm just not comfortable constantly, like, you know, brushing it with a bristle brush and just slap. It's just too much for me. I don't like that. I finally have learned how to cornrow at the age of 22. I'm still got a long way to go, but now I don't need someone to cornrow my hair under a wig if I need. So, it took months to learn. It took me years to like do box braids that I'm very proud of. Still learning how to do box braids. 7, just because a product works for someone does not mean it will work for you. So, I'm sure a lot of you know this. Maybe there's some of you that don't, but in 2014 when I went natural, shea moisture and coconut oil were all over everybody's recommendations, and I just was just so confused why I thought, maybe is my hair supposed to feel this dry and greasy at the same time? Like, that's the vibes coconut oil and shea moisture give me in terms of my hair. She don't like it, I don't like it, so it just does not work for me. A lot of their products just have way too much fragrance, and I'm not a fan of heavily fragrance products, so that's another thing. So really, what works for you, and I know like the process of figuring out what works for you fucking sucks sometimes and takes a while, but a small tip from me to you, when products have like good quality ingredients but like a smaller amount and not like a huge ass list of ingredients. For example, TGIN Honey Miracle Mask. Like, the ingredients are really good, but there's not too many. And I feel like it's just less overwhelming for the strands, personally. I think that's what it is. I think the more ingredients a product has, the more potential it has to like just be too much for the strands. I don't know if that even makes sense. Okay, 8. Scalp care is underrated. So, I started doing Rasul clay hair masks. I've done Aztec hair clay masks. Like, I started around like college, like sophomore year. And like, your curls just pop, your scalp feels clean and like exfoliated. And it's just so great. I've used to struggle a lot with like scalp dermatitis. I used to struggle with dermatitis on my skin, and I realized a lot of it had to do with like my diet and stuff, like dairy and gluten. I'm not saying I'm gluten free, but I have reduced the amount of like gluten shit I eat, especially like cereals and like cake and like just a lot of dessert. I really try and focus my diet on like fruits and vegetables and fiber and all that stuff. I still indulge, yes, but I avoid dairy as much as possible. I will eat it from time to time, but those are very inflammatory foods and ingredients. And I realized like when I stopped eating a lot of that stuff, especially like cereal and like lots of granola bars, my skin and like my dermatitis chilled out. And I realized also my scalp chilled out too. So
I think you need a little bit more green in your diet. And I think you need a little bit more foot up your ass. Oh my god. Don't try me, bitch.
Focusing on like clarifying the scalp more has helped a lot. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of the importance of clarifying the scalp or just addressing scalp issues. Because I've also struggled with like getting scabs on my scalp, like bloody scabs, and just being allergic to like the hair, like extensions and stuff. So yeah, scalp care is very underrated. 9, treat your ends like a baby. I don't really have to explain. Personally, for me, again, I'm 4C. The coils go crazy. And in the past, I feel like I felt a pressure to like slick my hair, my poof up. I used to have a poof all the time. Oh my god. Just, my hair was just out for weeks in a poof. Oh, the dryness, everything. In college, like around sophomore year, I just started like manipulating my hair a lot, slicking up my poof, re-slicking it every day, and like doing slick backs and just trying a bunch of different shit. And by the end, my hair just looked by the end of sophomore year, my hair just looked a fucking mess. To me at least. Like, I'd wash it and it was just uneven, shedding. Now like I just do a lot of finger detangling, and I really just am very gentle with my hair, and I make sure to carve out enough time for my hair routine so I'm not like rushing and like ripping my hair out and shit. Keeping my hair stretched is so important, and it also reduces my wash days by so much. Oh my goodness. 10. Last but not least, you gain natural hair intuition. And to me, what this means is just like knowing what's best for your hair, and kind of just, you know, like nowadays, like I can feel like just go through my hair. I'll be washing and I'm just like, something feels off. It looks a little limp, you know. Maybe it needs more deep conditioning. Maybe it needs more protein. Or maybe I just need to stop fucking touching it and put it in a protective style for a week or two and see where to go from there. That's what I mean. And natural hair intuition also applies to like styles. Like the other day I went to like a boat party with my family in New York, and I was gonna do 2 puffs with my hair with some like bangs in the front, but the 2 puffs were just looking crazy. In the last like minute, we were already running late. Last minute, I'm like, you know what? I didn't have like those stretchy hair bands, so I just stretched out my little hair tie and put my hair in a little bun, and it looked cute as fuck. I know that's not that serious, but to me, I was like prepared to just look a mess with the 2 buns, but I was like, you know what? Let's just try this. It'll probably look cute, and it did. And there's been many times I've gone out and planned out a style I do, and it just, when I actually did the style, looked a mess. I ended up going with something different. So yeah, it's just like another skill and confidence once you just practice. Again, trial and error. Like, you just gain a skill of like trusting yourself and knowing that like even if one style doesn't work, you could do another. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. Hope you enjoyed this, because I did. Leave in the comments below on what else you would like to see from me, and see you next time. Hope y'all enjoyed. Bye. What I've learned as what I've learned in the past 7 years.
I'm going back to bed. You're elegant. A legend.